Welcome to Gear Check Games. This is part 11 of our Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary playthrough. And here's another lovely loading screen. And there's a place we gotta go back to. We're essentially at this point playing this game in reverse.
Pretty much.
You have to go back to Master Chief's mom's house.
Yeah.
Mother Chief?
we have to go back and visit Mama Chief.
She'll give him his Poké Walker so he can, or his Poké Gear, so he can traverse the Halos.
We have to find the body of Big Chief.
But yeah, so
You didn't tell me you were bringing a secret weapon, Chief!
like the previous level being a replay of an earlier one, these last two levels are going to be taking place on maps that have already existed. However, unlike the previous level, these two are far more inspired and changed than the Assault on the Control Room and Two Betrayals.
Oh no.
Oh.
Did he just teleport in upside down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
Cortana is not, super used to the whole mass transportation technology that humans don't have, that she's, routing through the Forerunner ring for. So, getting here is probably a good idea.
Having Chief teleport in upside down.
I mean, it's a good thing he just teleported in upside down and not, without his limbs or something.
Yeah, having
Exactly.
Chief teleport in upside down seems like something that would be, too goofy to put in a modern shooter like this.
Yeah. It's a nice little bit of humor.
Yeah.
And a very, serious and kind of dark story.
Yeah.
So you can actually make it across there and continue the mission without triggering this cutscene. And this
Trey, I
entire
thought that
section.
was an edit.
No,
I thought
that's
you,
just what
landed on the
happens.
ground and it just cut to black, implying that he splatted.
Dead.
No. But yeah, so
You can grenade jump across that pretty easily.
After everything we've been through, a tiny little drop kills us.
yeah, a drop that we've already experienced further ones than. But yeah, so of note, this is the Truth and Reconciliation. Same cruiser as Truth and Reconciliation, but it has been significantly damaged by the humans that try to capture it, the Flood that try to capture it. So, it is.
Not to
just
mention
kind
the
of here.
flood of gamer fuel back there.
Oh yeah.
Right. That's they technically call it the antifreeze of the ship coming out, but it's straight up Baja Blast.
That's like no
Yeah.
antifreeze I've ever seen, alright?
It's not actually antifreeze. It is engine coolant. It's not meant to.
Okay.
Oh.
It tries to keep it cold.
It's like the coolant that you put in your gamer PC with liquid cooling.
Exactly.
You make sure
yeah.
it's green because it looks cool and gamery.
Yeah. Just in case things get too intense. In case you have a heated gamer moment. Inside your
So before-
PC.
Smashes graphics card. It's all your fault.
You dropped
I'm
3
surprised that never
frames.
happens.
I mean, that doesn't happen because
This is unacceptable.
GPUs are a little expensive.
So that spot back there before I had to take on the turret, before I turned this down to normal, I just couldn't get past it.
This level.
I spent 30 minutes.
This level is pretty rough on higher difficulties.
Yeah,
'Cause,
because they just send more flood at you.
yeah, they're just you were able to make it past, the previous 2 levels, which had this amount, so we'll give you this new amount.
Is this the first level in the game with traversing through liquid?
It is the second level in the game with traversing through. Well, third level. Yeah, this is a replay of the third level.
Yeah.
Oh,
However,
I guess I wasn't paying attention the previous 2 times.
yeah.
Either that or it's been at least a month since I've seen that.
Yeah.
I think it has.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's been a
we're
while.
this is the next day.
Oh yeah, we record these all at once, right?
Yeah.
Right?
We record. We're you're watching this live.
That's right. So I do like the fact here that the Elite AI will still prioritize rolling away from the grenade than staying on this little plateau.
He just fell straight off the plateau. He's just like, bye. Oh yeah, luckily this time there's not like a million sword guys coming after you and just like massacring you and your squad.
Yep.
It's like, oh, much better this time.
So, of note, the reason that we're coming to the ship is to find Captain Keyes again. He's come on the radio a couple times saying you guys are making a mistake being here. Leave.
Yeah. We're here to rescue him.
Yeah. Of note, the plan is to detonate
I
the
don't
ship.
like the tone of the way you just said that.
The plan is to detonate the ship's reactor core to destroy the ring. Because if you blow a small section of it apart, the torque that exists on the ring will just rip it to shreds. But to do that, we need the captain's basically like genetic authorization code. And so we're trying to retrieve the captain, so we can bring him along to the ship, have him set up the detonation, and leave.
I got a
Hey, we
buddy.
found him. It's Captain Keyes.
You say that.
Is that kind of like how not Master Chief, Kratos brings that one guy's head that he needs in God of War 3?
The God of Light or whatever.
Yeah, Helios, isn't it?
Helios, yeah. He just uses him as a flashlight.
Yeah.
I like that.
Times were tough, alright?
Kind of. So,
Man, speaking of a game series we need to play on this channel, I've been in a hankering to play the first God of War.
but
It's a fun PS2 game.
back to what Dan said.
That's probably...
Yeah,
I would
my-
be down to do God of
my-
War, but that's probably going to require some censorship.
My brother's been
yeah.
playing he got the new God of War with his PS4 because it was like in a
Nice.
bundle. And I walked in on him playing it, and I was like, so, you enjoying the game? He was like playing around on his phone during a cutscene. And he was like,
Dude, that's what you're there for.
he was like, just too many like, too much waiting around in this game. I just want to get into the actual gameplay. And I'm like, yeah, this might not have been the best God of War for you to buy.
Yeah.
But I do want to go back a little bit. So, Dan, following your standard tradition, your dumb statements are more accurate than you would realize. So, spoilers. We are.
Yeah, I'm the idiot savant of a Halo lore.
But yeah, spoilers is.
I saw you just standing there like, well, I'm just gonna get hit in the face by this, and there's nothing I can do.
Yeah. It really got me backed into a corner here.
Master Chief's just like, I don't know, just put my hands in front of my face.
To spoil the upcoming.
Now that's
Oh
some
yeah,
old
after
teachery
all
right
that,
there.
after fucking all of that, he gets
Yeah,
One
just-
guy turns the corner like, what's going on? Oh,
so
like, pops
angry.
you in the head.
Accidentally shoots you.
to spoil the.
I skipped forward like 5
Yeah,
minutes.
to spoil the upcoming segment, which Trey is very, very near to, the Flood have captured Keyes and are converting him. Of note, in the book, it gives Keyes perspective during all of it, and the Flood basically probing his mind, and him trying to, focus only on his name, rank, and military serial number to protect the location of Earth. Because if we're the Flood's food, Earth looks like a nice, tasty.
There's not going to be a Halo 2.
Halo will never become a
Don't
franchise.
tell me there's more Halo games after this one.
That's the whole point of this mission, is to ensure that Halo 2 is a success.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're getting the schematics from Captain Keyes' brain, so they can, after Master Chief inevitably destroys the Halo, so they can create the new Halo 2.
Were the
Yes.
Floods sent by Sony or something?
Every mascot game, you just have to impersonate the villains as the
Yeah, the
competitors.
final boss is Crash Bandicoot.
yes.
Or
Captain Keyes.
Who's the guy who does all the Sony E3 conferences?
Flute guy?
No, not Flute.
Flute guy, the face of Sony.
No, he just did the one. Maybe he is now. I don't know.
No, he was just the fan favorite.
Yeah.
You mean that
The only
like
human is
the
Zoe.
blonde dude with the suit and the tie? I mean, I guess.
Dan, that
Of
specifies
course, he has a
nothing.
suit and a tie. The guy that was in the
The
commercial.
one that's not Reggie or Phil
commercials.
Phil Spencer. I almost called him Phil Spencer. That's not right.
Phil Smither.
I don't think the guy I'm thinking of was like actually at conferences, but he was like in a bunch of PlayStation commercials in like the PS3 era.
Oh yeah.
They were like comedy skits.
You just created my new favorite like D&D generic Joe Blow name, Phil Smither.
Is he a
You're
dwarf?
welcome.
He's just a human fighter who uses a sword.
Perfectly generic.
Phil Smither. Yeah. Sometimes.
Phil Smith.
Sometimes he uses a bow, but only sometimes.
He's somehow even derpier than John Smith.
Would Phil Smith just be the the Dragon Ball fusion of Will Smith and Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince?
Whoa!
I've only ever like played this game. I don't think I've ever really watched people play it in a casual playthrough. I've watched speedruns, obviously. Man, there is a lot of FLUDD that they throw at you. I don't really remember it being this like significant volume.
It's almost too much. Like, there's a point where you're just like, okay, come on. Like, I know how to fight these guys.
Yeah, that's the sense I'm getting from a lot of these levels.
There's Captain Keys! Nice little shot of his face.
Oh no, it's Calamity
God.
Ganon.
It's that one deleted scene from Alien.
Yep. So, of note,
Calamity Keys.
So, of note here, they were basically trying to turn him into a, more of a command, like, field commander unit than either, the standard combat or carrier units.
You know what he'd expect
Yeah. We see those in Halo 2 and 3.
us to do.
Yep.
Were they trying to turn him into a grave mine?
He's what's called right now, they're turning him into what's called a proto-grave mine, which is kind of like a subordinate of the grave mine.
It's done.
Okay.
What did he just do?
So
He saw the most recent Doom game, and he tried to do that, but it was just kind of like, ew.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Gross.
So
So what he had to do is he had to reach into whatever Captain Keys became and rip out his neural implant because
Yeah.
that has the keys to the Pillar of Autumn.
yeah,
See.
basically,
Because we probably talked over it in the last episode, but like what they're gonna do is they're gonna try and overload the nuclear reactors in the Pillar of Autumn that crashed when we first got here.
Yeah.
But the only way to do that is to get the codes from Captain Keys.
So Chief had to pull out his brain and put it into his own helmet.
we talked over it when I was explaining it here.
Can't get no respect.
Yeah, the OST has significantly changed since earlier levels.
Oh, is this a different song than normally plays?
Oh yeah, this deep, ominous song. It's just a shift in tone. It'll go back to the normal battle combat theme here, but they took some pretty significant care with the soundtrack in this game.
Our chief didn't stand a chance.
We'd get back to the
I know. I just can't catch a break with these.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, it is like it is the final two levels.
Yeah, this
so,
is the
like,
penultimate
they're
level.
expected to be harder.
Well, that and plus any confined corridors with a lot of grunt units, they throw a lot of grenades. And not only that, one of the subtle changes is grunts do panic more often in later levels with the FLUDD. So they end up throwing grenades
God, they really do.
much more often. So.
I know there's a difference
yeah.
between, watching a game and actually playing it for yourself, but a lot of this is seeming kind of excessive.
Yeah.
Just in terms of, how many enemies you have to get through, how many of these, like, similar-looking areas. And I just don't know. This is probably a me problem, but I just don't know if I enjoy shooting mechanics enough for their own sake to really
That's probably
be
true.
like super into this.
Just turned around and there's another group of guys like, hey,
Yeah.
we're here too.
This is the critical path too. Like
They
I
all
just,
have plasma grenades in their hands.
Because even by the end of like Resident Evil 4, which is one of my all-time favorite games, like I get pretty burned out because they just throw so many enemies at you. And I know it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be the climax. It's supposed to be all intense and challenging and everything. But it just, I don't know, it just ends up getting kind of exhausting. But like, I feel like if I was more into just, the mechanics of shooting, that wouldn't bother me nearly as much. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, that's true, but you do have to realize that, like, in playing this, it goes significantly quicker than it feels to watch it happen. When you watch something, it feels like it's going at about 3/4 the speed that it feels like when you're actually playing.
Yeah.
Because
but when you're in it, you're like
Yeah.
doing all this like strategizing and maneuvering. So like,
you're
it doesn't feel boring while you're playing.
you're
it.
you're
Well,
you're
yeah, I'm
gonna
not
be
trying
far
to
more
say the game
active.
looks
before you
boring.
get
It's just...
Well, no, I'm just saying, even the perception of, like, its pacing is significantly different when you're not worried, am I in a good position? Where's the position of the nearest people?
Yeah.
What's my health? What's my ammo? Etc.
So what I was trying to do there with those two ships, like that, getting in those ships is like the way out. But you're supposed to go down like another two flights of like ramps and fight more guys. But I'm like, I'm not doing that.
I just always jump down. As long as you aren't at 1 bar of health, you can just jump and survive.
Yeah.
But you were at a bar of health.
But that was what's the name of that level called? Just Captain Keys?
No, it's just called Keys.
Captain Key's Wild Ride.
Yeah.
So is he like? Does the chief like kill him when he punched him and took his brain out?
No, he's fine.
He was already dead. He was effectively already dead.
Like,
He
I
had
mean,
been
like, did he
completely
did
converted.
he kill the thing that he was turning into? Like if I were chief, I would have just like shoved a grenade in the hole just to be safe.
Just to make sure Captain Key... I mean, the monster was dead.
I'm not sure if he necessarily killed it. I think the way the book kind of has it implied is that Keys doesn't really give him enough information, or they aren't really able to conquer his nervous system and mind well enough to actually form the proto-grave mind.
So, the moral, boys and girls, for today's GCG episode is read a book.
Yeah, stay in school.
Yes,
Strong
Good night,
mind.
everybody.
because you'll get a lot more of the lore out of that than from listening to us.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Bye, y'all.